if you're a woman with ADHD, chances are that you have a complicated relationship with rest. You might feel like, how can I rest with this hyperactive body or this hyperactive brain? And even if I could, I don't have the time. And even if I had the time, the idea of traditional rest where you're still and things are quiet sounds so boring, it's almost painful. Being still might just literally be the opposite of rest for you. And don't even get me started on how many people probably are needing or demanding your time. Like, when are you supposed to take time for you and actually rest anyway? Best to just keep pushing through and hope things get better. But here's the thing. Rest and recovery are mandatory for all humans. And if you've been running at full speed for a long time and just pushing through, I have news for you. Your body and your brain will eventually force you to slow down if you don't do it yourself. In this video, I'm going to break down 6 different ways. Yes, there are multiple ways that you can rest with ADHD, because I got you. I'm Tiff, a neuroscience professor with a PhD and ADHD and a mom of 2, and I help women with ADHD go from constantly overwhelmed and barely surviving to building simple systems to help them truly thrive in a way that works with their unique ADHD brains. If you're interested in helping yourself manage your energy better, I have a free ADHD Energy Reset Workbook linked in the description that will help you start managing your energy better today. If you are an overwhelmed ADHD woman, chances are you have a lot going on in your life. You've probably been told you need to take care of yourself or ask for help. Chances might also be that you wanted to punch that well-meaning person in the face, because how are you going to find time to do any of that? And if you did, how would you do it? When you have ADHD, your brain is buzzing. There are hundreds of thoughts, probably a single set of song lyrics playing on repeat. For me, it is currently K-pop Demon Hunters because my daughter's 8. Send help. Probably also have a bunch of overanalyzed conversations from the last 40 or so years going on in the background as well. If you have the hyperactive or combined type of ADHD, you might also just struggle to sit still. And sitting still is what we have all been taught that rest means. Like, the traditional idea of rest is this quiet, never-ending boredom, and we just can't with that type of situation most of the time with ADHD. And that's just the ADHD part. But as women, we also have a lot of demands on our energy and our time. We are often taught that we need to keep going and going and going until everyone else's needs are met, and then we can take care of our own. The problem is, no one told us that everyone's needs would never be met, so we'd never get to the part where we get to actually take care of ourselves or rest and recharge. So we are constantly just running around and never just getting to freaking stop and rest. If you've ever wished life just had a pause button, same thing. And then you might have been taught by the people in your life, intentionally or unintentionally, that taking time for yourself to rest is selfish. You might not know that you have permission to do that, and that doing it is actually less selfish than running yourself into the ground. So rest might not even occur to you as an option. If this is you, you're not alone. I see this all the time. And so today, if you take away nothing else from this video, I want to debunk the idea that rest has this single narrow definition. Because here's the real definition. Rest is literally whatever recharges you. Period, the end. It doesn't have to be still. It doesn't have to be quiet, and it definitely doesn't have to be something that anybody else understands. But good news, there are actually multiple types of rest that you can take if you have ADHD, and you get to choose the ones that work best for you. We're going to talk about 6 different types of rest today. The first one is physical rest. This one's a pretty easy one. This means actually physically being still, light movement like walks, things that recharge you but don't exert. The next one is mental rest. So this is giving your brain a break. These can be things like listening to music, doing a puzzle, watching your favorite movie, reading your favorite book, doing something creative, composing music, painting, whatever it is for you. These will engage your brain a little bit, but they also give you lots of space for your brain to just wander and chill the heck out. The third one is spiritual rest. This allows your soul to do things that fulfill it. This can be things like volunteering in your community, helping out others, doing something with your faith group if that is something that recharges you. And this is restful and recharging because it connects you to a higher purpose and to the world around you. And because humans are incredibly social creatures, even if you're an introvert, connection is mandatory. And so this feeds you purpose and connection. I'm not saying volunteer to plan an entire large event for the community because that is not going to be recharging, right? We're talking restful versions of this for the purposes of types of rest. Next, we have sensory rest. Getting away from all of the noises, the lights, the uncomfortable clothing if you've been on a business trip and wearing really uncomfy shoes or sweaters or something like that. Anything that kind of gives your senses a break and gives you pleasing sensory input or less sensory input, that's sensory rest. There's emotional rest. This is a place where you can let your guard down and feel your feelings without having to censor yourself. You get to be your authentic self and you don't have to spend energy holding any walls up. This may be with or without people, but giving yourself rest from things that are constantly barraging your emotions. This can mean getting away from people that really trigger your emotions or from situations that trigger your emotions. It can also mean putting yourself in a positive or a grateful or a peaceful emotional situation, place, state, whatever. Then we have social rest, and this means interacting with groups of people or a person or even a creature in your life that makes you feel complete, content, loved, safe, engaged. Maybe it's really fun and enjoyable. Those unconditional love interactions are often ones that actually refill your battery, even if you're an introvert. And you probably know who those people are. I talk more about that in this video here. So those are 6 different types of rest that you can use if you're a person with ADHD who struggles to rest. And some things might be a combination of a few of those for you. Bottom line is, there are no rules if you find something restful for you. So how do you pick what's restful? Well, first you can start by identifying the things that you already do in your daily life on a regular or somewhat regular basis, and look at the ones that you actually look forward to, where you finish and you're like, I could do that again, or I wish I could do that every day. That's a signal that those might actually be sort of a restful or recharging activity for you. Or even if not that activity, activities that are similar to that might be helpful for your brain to rest and recharge. And it can be really helpful to try to figure out what is going on in your brain when you're getting an I need rest signal. So if you've been doing a really big, cognitively demanding project at work for the past week and you've blocked off some time in your calendar to rest because you finally finished it, I recommend giving yourself some mental rest, doing something with your hands where your brain can really just relax and there's not going to be a lot of demands to perform or act a certain way, and make it enjoyable. If you've been doing something really boring or you've had to sit still for a really long time and you are just like, I'm gonna just explode if I don't go do something else. I can't do this anymore. Like if you've been in that type of situation, for you, rest might actually be going and doing something fairly physical to get moving. For me, pickleball is a thing that I enjoy going to do when I've been sort of cooped up, confined, or still for a long period of time. And that's a pretty physical activity, but like for me, that's a type of rest. Like I said, it doesn't have to make sense to anyone but you. And then what I recommend is just doing the experiment and see how it goes. What do you have to lose? And so see if you find something restful. If you don't, chuck it. If you do, do that and add more things like it to your repertoire. But here's the bottom line, and this is the only rule, okay? Rest and recovery are mandatory. All humans need it, including you. It's nothing to be ashamed of needing because it is biological and neurobiological to need rest. And eventually you're going to be forced to if you don't, so you may as well rest on your terms. Again, this ADHD energy reset is going to help you get started, and it's free and it's linked in the description. And if you want to know how I went from overwhelmed to thriving and managing my energy, I'll link that video here when it's done. Until then, watch this one. You got this.